I want to give you the chance to ask me some questions.
Ooh.
So if there's something that you want either to know about me or you would like to hear my thoughts on, then the floor is yours.
So, what prompted you to start doing this?
Why, thank you. I'm glad you asked.
Welcome.
So, I believe it was the spring of 2020. We had just learned what COVID-19 was, and everybody was in a frenzy. Let me take you back in time. This was a time when toilet paper was hard to come by. This was a time where hand sanitizer and all these different things were completely sold out.
Right.
And if you had it, you better not leave it out, because if you come back, it won't be there.
Right.
So this is the times that we were living in. And there was a lot of uncertainty. There's still uncertainty, but we have more of a handle on things now, I think, with the vaccine and with people just understanding that we just got to move differently. We got to wear masks. We got to just take proper precautions. So while all this is going on, I had a friend that is in business, but his business was temporarily impacted by COVID because he runs a flag football league. And with that flag football league, if the CDC or whoever makes these decisions are saying, well, no, you can't play sports against each other. Because remember, even the NBA shut down. Like, you had, and you know they're not
nothing.
Right, it was nothing. So he wasn't seeing the same revenue that he's used to seeing. So there's this thing called pandemic unemployment assistance for people that are gig workers, independent contractors, all this kind of stuff. And he told me about it. And I was able to leverage the money that I was receiving from that into saying, like, well, what have I always wanted to do, but I never could quite get my head around because I just didn't have the financial backing. And then that made me think about the podcast, the show, because at the end of the day, I've been taking selfies of myself for years. I've been asking people on the street, take my picture. I've wanted to be, I have a theatric soul. Like they say you're not supposed to have regrets, but I think it's okay to sometimes feel like, you know what, I wish I could have done that differently. And for me, I would say, going back in time to college, I would definitely major in theater arts.
Okay.
Because I'm like you see this face, I'm animated, like that's where I belong, but I didn't do it. So being able to create an environment where I can be myself and work and be my own photographer and be my own videographer and be my own engineer and all that kind of stuff, it spoke to me. So I started doing this. And it started out with me doing some vlogs by myself, talking about what it was like when I would see a good-looking, big-butt girl like yourself, and be like back at 13 years old, you know what I'm saying? A little bow wow would be out and bounce what we would be on. And, you know, like, you grew up thinking that you could really dance because you used to mimic Michael Jackson, and your grandma was hyping you up, telling some, go ahead, baby, I see you, baby, talking about making me feel like I'm a good dancer. But then you get to your first party where they grinding and whatnot, and you stand all off to the side.
You're like, they ain't teach me how to do this.
They ain't teach me this shit at all. So anyway, that's going on. And then prom comes around, and you over here, because you went to the school with a lot of white people, you get hyped because they doing Toxic by Britney Spears, which is that shit. And, you know, you was doing all that, but when it came to, like, the dancing and the groove, you was just, like, really, really uncomfortable. So, you know, like, that was one of my vlogs where I talked about the journey of my dancing journey, because I love to dance. I know you love to dance. And yeah, so that's what that was. And it started out with just me telling funny stories from my childhood. But then I started thinking about, I want to start talking to people. And I want to see how they're feeling and bounce off of their energy. So that kind of materialized into what we have today. And before... this right here, which these shirts, by the way, I thank you so much, Deja, for pointing them out. They are my Devyn Zoolander shirts, the first shirt that I've really ever made, and they say Devyn Zoolander on the front. Just to give you a quick summary, the reason why I went with these colors is because the green is because as a young man, I'm always looking for what's different. And when I was growing up, if you're a boy, you just said blue or red is your favorite color.
Yeah, that's true.
But then I saw Kermit the Frog, and I saw him sing with Ray Charles, It's Not That Easy Being Green. And then I would see Oscar the Grouch. A little bit later in life, I would see Shrek. And then I would see other things that were green. And then I would see the Philadelphia Eagles that were green. And green just really spoke to me because to me, it's like I'm a man, but I'm the kind of man that I want to be, not the man that you want me to be.
That's good.
And then with the pink kind of comes from, I like how rebellious it is. I like how attention grabbing it is. I like how men aren't supposed to be wearing pink unless we play in the NFL and we're paying tribute to Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Then all of a sudden, pink is cool to wear if you're a guy.
Right.
But when I was growing up, pink wasn't the move. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to own this shit because when you talk about the 80s or early 90s Fresh Prince vibes and all that kind of stuff, they use bright fluorescent colors. And this speaks to my personality. So that's why it's Devyn Zoolander.